The country has spoken. Donald J. Trump has been reelected as president, and certain celebrities are not happy. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm here with Louis Lecca, Nerd Report. Welcome, Louis. Good to see you, my man.
Great to see you, man.
You actually talked me into this video because we don't talk politics on this channel. We don't, but this is massive news, guys. And I wanted to react because there's been so many reactions. We actually had our part 2 of Jaguar Right that I was going to drop today, but I don't want it to get lost in the election shuffle because it's a really good video. So we're going to put that out tomorrow. So stay tuned. In fact, I'll put the premiere link at the end of this. But a lot of people are reacting to this. I want to talk about it. I got some thoughts, but also a lot of celebrities are starting to make some comments that they're going to regret, and they already are. They're deleting things. What Cardi B said was ridiculous. I just wanted to have a conversation with my man Louis and with you guys because I know some of you are just miserable and a lot of you are happy. In fact, Louis, that's the big thing I sort of want to start on. Regardless of your feelings of Trump, love or hate the guy, he just won massively. He didn't win just this, like he won the popular vote. He won all the votes. Look at this. The House is now in the lead to the Republicans. The Senate's in the lead to Republicans. More Republican governors were there. Trump won big. And look, I know a lot of people don't like Trump. I get it. Personally, Trump has done a lot of things that has upset people. I just think you got to look at this map and realize that's a lot of red. It's a lot of fellow Americans that were fed up with something. And I think if anything we've learned from this, Louis, because again, who I voted for doesn't matter. People think they know who I voted for. I like that they don't know. We shouldn't really know. I don't want to know what these celebrities voted for. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, whether your candidate won and you're excited, try not to gloat longer than today. And if you're a candidate lost, you got to accept the loss. You got to be the better person. And you got to attempt to move forward and not just label all Trump voters as, you know, the garbage trash racists that a lot of the media has done for a long time. Because, Louis, I think ultimately that's what happened here. The Trump voters got fed up with the way they were labeled by the media, by so many people, by celebrities, and they're really bothered by the economy, as I'm seeing a lot of this punditry that's come in. That has been a core issue for everybody. And I think Harris made a mistake parading around all these elitist celebrities thinking that was going to woo and surprise everybody when people are, you know, feeling like they're facing serious issues. And I think Democratic Party has lost touch, and you got to accept it, Democrats. That's what happened here. They lost big, and we're going to go through some of these comments that sort of address that. But before we get to celebrity reactions, my overall takeaway, Louis, is look, we got to learn from this. There's a lot of unhappy people. I don't think they even all love Trump, but I think we got to start listening and hearing more of these people instead of labeling them the enemy, the trash, the racists. What do you think, Louis?
I was watching this, monitoring it, and this video, you know, mostly is going to concentrate on celebrities and the way they were speaking down on their fans, like, you know, I can't afford the groceries, then you must be, you know, a racist. You know, it's just name calling, especially when the perception is a lot of these people are not affected by inflation or the cost of living whatsoever. And, you know, they just, it came off really, really bad. And I'm wondering if all this backfired and if there's a way to maybe next time kindly ask the celebrities to shut up or maybe say it once, you know, hey, we know you endorse just one tweet or X or whatever you want to call it. You just say it once. We know who you're for, but to be obsessed. I mean, even Elon Musk was way much. He's a celebrity. Of course, he's well known, but you got the likes of Mark Hamill, you know, Stephen King was off the rail. It's like, what do you guys do? Do you guys sit on social media and just talk down on your fans?
Fair, it's a problem on both sides. This extreme political sort of screaming and weighing, and it's tiring. It's I think why all of us were so fed up. And to be fair, I know a lot of people have issues with Trump and some of the things he's done, but look, Harris hasn't been honest either. She was sort of thrust in this. People didn't vote for it. I understand both sides. It's why I'm an independent and why, you know, I don't like either of them personally. But one person's reaction, holy S, Joe Rogan. Look, I do think Joe Rogan's podcast had a huge effect in helping Donald Trump. He did. 48 million people watched that podcast. And then the night before, he had Elon Musk on to sort of reiterate for him. And I think Kamala Harris made a massive mistake not going on there. That as a PR celebrity way things are going from a marketing standpoint, would she have been able to like sway the voters or talk normally? Who knows? But if she could have been relatable like Trump was, which maybe wouldn't have been possible, but still, if she had attempted to at least show up there, Lewis, and do it, I think it could have made an impact. And I think Joe has just proven, whether it was an ego or not, of saying, you got to come to my studio. He's now, I think, earned the ego of next time. I think politicians and people are going to be rethinking whether, yeah, let's make time to go to his studio. Do you disagree, Lewis?
Well, showing up is half the battle. The other part is being likable, and I think regardless of what you think, like Trump had good he got good reviews after that interview for 3 hours. But when you're starting to say, "Hey, I can only be there for an hour," and I think it's very, very telling too, is a lot of people mispronounce Kamala Harris's name, and it's because she really hasn't introduced herself to the public. So yeah, maybe a Joe Rogan experience here would have made a difference. But Andy, I gotta be honest with you, I never thought like Joe Rogan or think that Joe Rogan followers were not gonna vote for Trump. I mean, I think that's kind of a given here. So I don't know if that would have moved the needle.
Well, interesting, because he has not been a Trump supporter. He's criticized Trump a lot in the past. Like if you go through some of his old shows and clips, people have pulled him out saying, dude, that's not what you believed in. But whatever, regardless of that, let's look at some other reactions here. Here's one coming in from Mark Cuban. Congrats, real Donald Trump. You won fair and square. Congrats, Elon Musk as well. Now, Godspeed. Mark Cuban has been aggressive against these two. And look, good for him for at least pretty quickly conceding and giving each other side. He and Elon Musk are like mortal enemies. He hates Donald Trump. But again, this is the kind of stuff we need to see more of just, okay, I lost. I accept the loss. We move forward. Here was George W. Bush, finally. A lot of people were criticizing him for staying silent for so long, but here he is now, a pretty, I think, strong, fair message. Congratulate the president, J.D. Vance, their families. I thank Biden and Harris for their service. The strong turnout in this election is a sign of the health of our republic and the strength of our democratic institutions. Laura and I are grateful to election officials, poll workers, yada, 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 for a fair, safe, secure election. We join our fellow citizens in praying for the success of our new leaders at all levels for the government. May God continue to bless our great country. Look, again, love him or hate him, George Bush is just trying to stay out of politics. He's moved on. He's retired. People were trying to force him in, whether he liked to or not. And that, I think, was part of the problem. You can't force people to get into it, and we shouldn't know what everybody's voting for. But here's another billionaire, Jeff Bezos. Big congrats to 45 and now 47th president on his extraordinary political comeback, which it was. You can't deny it. My God, did he come back. Decisive victory. No nation has bigger opportunities. Wishing real Donald Trump success and leading and uniting the America we love. And I think this is an important message. Look, again, a lot of people don't like Trump, Lewis, for things he's done, things he says. He's not always the most, polite, respectful speaker. But I think we all need to wish this and hope for the best, that he will really do the right thing. And maybe not all the rhetoric that was out there will be followed. And hopefully, we will get on to making this country better. Now, what comments that didn't help, Cardi B, she was all over the place telling all the supporters in Georgia, F you, you're the worst. And now this is why some states get hurricanes, because they voted for Trump. I mean, girl, what are you doing? This is lunatic stuff. You sound absolutely crazy. I hate y'all bad. This is not the way. Even if you feel this way, don't post it on social media, because now you look like a damn fool. This is not being the better person here. And it just frustrates me seeing people like that. Here's Sophia Bush. Great job giving the MAGA gang more power, America. Wonder how many folks are seeing this, still saying, but, at least he's not a black woman in the privacy of their homes tonight. My heart is broken. The biggest Latino turnout ever. This whole thing about, it's all racists who voted. No, it really wasn't. It was about the economy, and there were bigger issues in that, but that became such a big issue. And sure, there's some racists there, but this generalization, it really has become an issue. That's their biggest talking point, Lewis, is my enemies are racist. They're racist. They're racist. They're racist. It just gets tiring, and it's going to piss off a lot of people in those middle states. And it clearly did. Here's Christina Applegate. Please unfollow me if you voted against female rights, against disability rights. Yeah, that. Unfollow me because you did what you did is unreal. Don't want followers like this. So yeah, done. Also, after today, I'll be shutting down this fan account that I've had for so many years because this is sick. Now, a lot of people just sort of don't make these threats unless you're going to mean them. Now, I like Christina Applegate. She's been through a lot. She's dealing with a lot of medical disability stuff herself. I get the emotion. That's where the thing is, right? This is emotions are hot. The female rights issue of it, very hot for some. And some people can't accept what Trump has already done and that religion's now getting into politics. There's supposed to be a separation of church and state. So this is where a lot of stuff is coming from. Andy Cohen now saying, so the election isn't rigged? He then later clarified with his son.
What's your take on the election? What do you think happened?
Donald Duck wins.
He did. He did. And what do you think? Well, we love our country, don't we? We love our country. Yes, we do. We will persist. We will move forward.
I mean, that's the best you can do. God bless America. That's what we all got to do. We got to, if you're unhappy, you do it, right? That's what I'm frustrated about. Both sides, don't gloat too long and don't wallow too long. We got to get together. But here's Yvette Nicole Brown. Sherrod Brown losing Ohio is a loss to our nation. This is a disgrace at a level I can't even quantify. My home state of Ohio chose a criminal, and it looks like the nation is choosing a criminal. America is showing up tonight, just showing out. Again, a lot of people thinking this about race. I cannot fathom the feeling of a woman who came forward about their essay at the hands of Trump, seeing millions of people vote for him. My heart breaks for these women. I believe you, and I am so sorry. So again, this is why emotions are hot, because of all these things. There were more. Barstool Stewart's Dave Portnoy. My people like myself, independents or moderates, the Democrats gave us no choice. The Democrats gave us no choice. That was the worst campaign, and their pure arrogance and moral superiority have driven people away. If you say you're voting for Trump, suddenly you're that word. You're Mr. H. You're a garbage. Enough. Lewis, I've seen this all over. This is a valid fact that Democrats refuse to accept. The generalizing was too much. It took too far, alienating all these middle ground people by acting like you're better than other people and frankly insulting our intelligence. He's not wrong, Lewis. He's not wrong on that. Here's Stephen King. There's a sign you can see in many shops that sell beautiful but fragile items. Lovely to look at, delightful to hold, but once you break it, then it's sold. You can say the same about our democracy. So apparently it's gone. The free vote eliminated our democracy. We'll see. Look, I choose to get upset when things actually happen, Lewis. So we'll see. Somehow the world survived 4 years of Trump. I think a lot of these people are overdoing it a bit. Here was Elon Musk sharing photos of him. Here's the new cabinet, I guess. That'll be exciting to some and terrify others. Again, I'm trying to keep this all unbiased. This was his comments. It was a lot of pressure, but it pales in comparison with President Trump, who they tried to kill twice, bankrupt, and in prison for eternity. There's a lot of comments about this. He's fought back. They were trying to destroy him, and he had the biggest comeback ever. The future is going to be so fire. Here he is. Let that sink in as he shows up with the kitchen sink, making it all about the memes. His platform's record usage. Also, 12 million, I think, a huge profit. His net worth just went up by skyrocketed. Elon telling everybody, you are the media now. The people of X gave him a crystal clear mandate for change tonight. Here he is. The future is going to be fantastic. America is a nation of builders. Soon, you will all be free to build. Adam McKay had some really interesting thoughts. We'll go here. Who would have guessed lying about Biden's cognitive health for 2 years, refusing to do an open convention for a new nominee, never mentioning public health care and embracing fracking, the Cheneys, and a year-long slaughter of children in Gaza wouldn't be a winning strategy. This is the kind of stuff liberals need to actually listen to instead of just, everyone's racist, they took away rights. It was bigger than just even that. There were a lot of issues here, and Adam McKay's not wrong. Who would have thought that? Anyone with half a brain. But I thought liberals' whole thing is being smart. It's not. They're actually just blindly cheer the parade of rickety optics wrapped up in New York Times fonts. That is modern day Democratic Party. Well, at least it's time for the dusty hacks and careerists to spread their feathers wide post-election and blame Russia and third-party candidates. That should fix things. He went on to say the lobbyist consultants bundles who 100% control both parties must have been laughing like stoned teenagers watching a cat chase a laser pointer at what was going on with what the Harris campaign decided to do. The real way Trump wins is if we don't abandon or take over the DNC. It's time for a real opposition party. Look, lots of these comments coming in. Cardi B currently is the one that's getting most dunked on, but everybody sort of reacting to the loser liberal tears. Look, I get it. a lot of these people have been called racist. They want to gloat today. I of course, but I hope this doesn't last too long. Let's try to unite, Lewis. That's my whole point of what I want to make this video. If people will be mad at me that I'm not, condoning Trump enough or supporting him enough, it shouldn't fucking matter who I like or who I voted for. That's what the beauty of this country is supposed to be about. And if you're judging any of us for not defending what you believe louder or not loud enough, maybe you're part of the problem, and maybe you need to open up your ears and listen more and figure out why the bulk of America elected him. You can't just ignore this anymore, Lewis. I've never hid my feelings of Trump. I haven't hid him about Harris either, though. This was one of the worst elections to have to pick from in ages, in my opinion. But the people have spoken. At the end of the day, they've spoken, and they've spoken loudly. And I hope both sides will take this as what it is and take it as a reality check that the bulk of America is fed up. We're fed up with these politicians. We are. So much so that they put Trump in again, because I don't think they all really cared about Trump, Lewis. Would you agree? I mean, he has his support. Don't get me wrong. And I'm sure people are going to come at me for saying that. But don't you think this was more about a movement that he started about just calling out all the bullshit out there with the politicians?
Whatever your opinion is, you got to admit he rattled the hornet's nest, definitely. So, I mean, when you got Cardi B talking about politics, I mean, that's probably one of the dumbest people on earth. And like the American public is not as dumb as people think. When you're calling yourself the party that's really smart or whatever, constantly on X or whatever, and you bring Cardi B to speak for you on behalf of you, I mean, that's weird. And then also when you're calling everybody the H guy, the bad guy from World War, Yahtzee.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you get an endorsement from Dick Cheney, who was actually called that a few years ago, and you're proud of it. I mean,
they have no morals.
It's like, well, that tells me that if the Yahtzee guy would have endorsed you, you would have actually been happy with it too. So it all cancels itself. Now, look, back to the celebrities. They have the perception of celebrities is that they're rich, immoral, and they're not like that. They're not all like that, okay? And they were speaking down on their fans for months and months and months and months and mocking them and making fun of them. And it just, I don't know if that was a turning point, but I think it doesn't help. It really does not help. And I don't know what kind of backlash or how you could even control them from not speaking. They do have the right to speak. And I'm not opposed to them having their voice be heard.
100%.
I don't agree.
I think we just all need to stop assuming we care about who they or anybody is voting for. And I think that's the biggest problem I see out there is just the backlash for me not supporting your candidate enough or not condemning the other. I'm so sick of it. That to me has been the problem of these past months. And I'm so glad it's at least over. I'm glad we can move on now.
Not over.
Well, I mean, the election process seems to be wrapping down. Kamala Harris still has not conceded at taping. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But she has been very vocal in her thoughts on Trump. It'll be interesting to see how she handles it after calling him, the H word, fascist, dictator, all these things. Yeah. Is she now going to graciously just accept and say, okay, yes, because at the end of the day, that was your talking points. You focused more on hating him than what you were going to do. And I think that was a huge mistake on her part. And now the country has spoken. So will she try to storm the Capitol, Lewis? We'll see. Stay tuned. It could get interesting. We will not delve into politics much more. I just wanted to give you that because today is obviously a big breaking news day. Please, I guess, share your thoughts. I'll give you one opportunity to fight it out politically down in the comments below. Enjoy the cesspool. Hopefully you guys will be respectful. Make sure to support Lewis at Nerd Report. Subscribe to him as well. Subscribe here. And thank you guys for watching and stay tuned. There it is. Jaguar Right will premiere tomorrow. Check it. Don't miss it. It's going to be fire. I want to make sure it has some legs. So stay tuned. Sorry for the delay, but it's good.